Hi, this is Dr. Amelia Wiggins. I am the lead author on the paper Risk of Secondary Injury in Younger Athletes After Anterior Cruciate Ligament Reconstruction, published in AJSM in 2016. What was the motivation for this study? Really, it was a personal interest for me. As a collegiate athlete, I sustained 4 ACL injuries, and that's what got me into the career of orthopedics. And then as I was going through training and reading literature on my own, I started to notice that there was a lot of repeat offenders, athletes that tend to tear their ACL tended to do it again. And from personal experience, I was one of them. So I really wanted to just dive deeper into that. I just had some questions. I wanted to look at risk factors and why certain athletes were tearing their ACL, why others weren't, why certain athletes that tore their ACLs were tearing them again. And this is the result of that. What is the biggest impact your paper has made on the field of sports medicine? It's absolutely amazing. It was really important data that we were able to put out with this paper, that athletes that are young and return to sports that have sustained an ACL injury had a 23% chance of sustaining another one, putting them at 30 to 40% higher risk than an athlete who had never sustained an ACL injury. Those are startling statistics, and it has made a difference. It highlights the need for an injury prevention, an ACL injury prevention program, the need for standardization on post-surgery rehab, the standardization of return to play protocols, the standardization of neuromuscular training. Those are all tools that we need to give our athletes, and this paper highlights why it's so important to do that. What did this research teach you that you were not expecting? It taught me a lot that I wasn't expecting. It taught me a lot that these athletes that are young, that go back to high risk sports, end up re-injuring. It taught me that maybe we need to be talking to our athletes about returning to other sports that maybe won't put them at such a high risk. We need to be talking to our athletes and their parents, about the risks that are really in front of them if and when they do go back to play. And so that's where this is just absolutely an incredible study, because it really highlights the need for an injury prevention, an ACL injury prevention program, the need for standardization on post-surgery rehab, the standardization of return to play protocols, the standardization of neuromuscular training. Those are all tools that we need to give our athletes, and this paper highlights why it's so important to do that. What would you do differently now, or what do you wish you knew back then? I'm glad that I didn't do anything different. I didn't know that this article, this paper, this data was going to be so significant, so incredible, and it's just, sometimes it works out like that, you don't know, and then it turns out to be something better than you ever imagined. So I'm glad I didn't know what the significance would be. I wish I had pushed at the time to make it more significant. I wish I had gotten out there, talked more about the article, really gotten that data out, because it's very important. Luckily, we're one of the most highly cited articles. So the word has gotten out anyway, but I wish I had made more of a push as a clinician to really talk about what our findings were. What suggestions would you have for new authors from your experience as the most highly cited author? Well, I will just say, follow your curiosities, follow the things that you're interested in, find a hole in the literature and then try to answer it. It might lead to nowhere. It might lead to somewhere amazing like this. So just keep being curious, and I think science will advance itself. Well, thank you. This has been awesome. It's been a great experience. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you to AJSM for this honor. And thank you to my co-authors for helping write this incredible paper. So thank you so much.